And then the Black River that Molly was talking about, one word, Floyd, if not higher than Floyd levels. Get out is the message from emergency officials there. I would echo those sentiments in the lower portions of the Black River Basin. Major impacts underway and set to continue at least into the weekend, if not early next week.
That information from our chief meteorologist Gannon Medwick back in October came 4 days after Hurricane Matthew hit. The Weather Service had posted a river flood warning for the Black River Basin, getting life-saving information out to people who live along the river. Forecasters and emergency management directors can see when rivers rise and fall, and they use instruments that you pass by every day. Bryce McClenny spends a lot of his days fishing. He's not trying to catch bass, no, he's trolling for information. Today, he's measuring how much water is moving on the Waccamaw River in Columbus County. The U.S. Geological Survey has watched the river level here since 1939. They used low-tech equipment in years past. Now, it's a high-tech gauge system attached to this bridge on Highway 130. It measures the river level every 15 minutes.
It's a simple radar sensor. It just shoots until it hits water, and then it bounces a signal back and uses speed of sound to determine the distance.
And it's knowing the volume of water and how fast that water is moving past a given point that's important. And that's the information that the National Weather Service uses to actually develop their river forecasts and flood forecasts.
You don't need to know what the river level is at your house
right
after the flooding's there. You need to know what's coming
beforehand, so you can get out
there, so you can protect your property and yourself.
The USGS has 260 of these gauges across North Carolina, but none in Brunswick County. County officials hope to use state money to get one. It costs about $15,000 to put one in. Possible sites? Waterways along River Road, the Caw Swamp area in Carolina Shores, downstream in the Waccamaw River.
Weather Service gets data from other points along the Waccamaw River, and they track it down. But if we could know what's going on in our county, they could give us more accurate information about when it's cresting here and what we can expect.
This spot along the Black River and Highway 210 is the priority spot to put a river gauge here in Pender County, and I'll show you why. Take a look at the water level mark there. That's how close the floodwater came to going over this bridge after Hurricane Matthew. Tom Collins asked the USGS to move a temporary gauge to this spot in October after Matthew came through. A gauge upstream in Duplin County showed the river there had already started to rise. The gauge here confirmed when all that excess water began to arrive.
It put us in a response mode that we actually moved resources forward here, had a staging area at Blueberry Road, and had assets in place to start getting people out.
You think it saved lives?
Oh, I know it did.
Crews had to use helicopters to rescue 22 people from the Black River flooding. Pender County is now budgeting to buy a permanent river gauge for this bridge. There's already one in the county watching the Northeast Cape Fear.
Let's put it this way, it's very cheap insurance, very. $15,000 in the whole scheme of our county budgets and county budgets throughout this region. It's a very low cost considering what we're doing.
The USGS partners with towns and cities, even companies, to install these gauges. Data flows in around the clock. On days that are good for fishing and on days that are much worse. Now, we mentioned that the National Weather Service accesses and uses the information from those gauges. State emergency management and local directors like Tom Collins use it too. Now, you can access it through this interactive website the USGS has. You can sign up and even get text messages sent right to your mobile phone when a river level, say at the Waccamaw River in Freeland, reaches a certain level. They'll send you a text message. It's great for people who own property or have family nearby where one of these gauges are located. We have links to get to that service and a link to this map where you can see all the sites. It's available to you right now on WECT.com. Fran?